I don't think I need to tell you that there is enormous demand for leadership development in the private sector. Enormous. And it just so happens that so many companies are looking for really the same things. Positive leaders, leaders which empower others, which can develop others, leaders that are agile and flexible. Well, what a lot of people in the private sector don't realize is that there is a solution. There actually is a philosophy of leadership that goes to those exact metrics: initiative, flexibility, empowerment. It's called Mission Command. Yes, Mission Command, and it comes from the military. Specifically, it comes from the Germans. And it's a philosophy made for chaos, disorder. If you want to lead your team through uncertainty, friction, what they call the fog of war, it's this kind of philosophy that empowers people to get the job done when you, the leader, aren't there. Well, traditionally, to learn about Mission Command, you had to read military history to get it. Until recently, there's a new book. What's been on, I think, a couple of years, and that's by Donald Vandergriff, and it's called Adopting Mission Command. Here's my copy. I love Adopting Mission Command. I think it's a very, very important book, so much so that I wanted to do this video on it. Adopting Mission Command really is one part history and background of Mission Command, which is also called Auftragstaktik. It's also two parts manual and guide of how to develop leaders to do it, to actually get these elements of Mission Command, to get people empowered, to bring out the individual initiative, the flexibility, the creativity. So it really is a manual and a guidebook. And it's also one part a letter of reform for the U.S. Army. I was a junior officer in the Army. I left as a captain, and they were always teaching Mission Command, but the Army has always had a very hard time in making it happen. The fact is that the U.S. Army really lives still in the era of scientific management, which has been in the American DNA for the entire 20th century. Adopting Mission Command is a great book. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, I highly recommend you read it. Now, saying that, be warned that it is a book written for military leadership. So there are a lot of acronyms, lots of acronyms. If you can disregard the acronyms and get into the gist of how to develop, how to, again, bring out those great attributes and traits of your leaders: empowerment, initiative, creativity. If you dive into the book, there are nuggets of wisdom that will help you in your private practice. I promise you. I've read it from front to end, and I actually made some notes for you. So some things which I think to stick out. One thing is, usually in the private sector, when people talk military leadership, they think of command and control. Well, command and control, it comes from scientific management. In a sense, our militaries are almost developed the way our businesses run today. You know, efficiency, compliance, process. All these things are important, but what happens when disorder comes and when uncertainty comes? Especially if you're a company in rapid growth, you need to learn Mission Command. Another element of this book is difference between training and education. Big difference. And Donald Vandergriff really goes into those differences. And again, he gives you checklists. He gives you the tools of how to develop your leaders and your teams. I think one of the most interesting elements is he goes into John Boyd and the OODA loop. That's observe, orient, decide, and act. It's a major model that helped really redefine military strategy. And he goes into this process. And by the way, OODA loop is used everywhere. In fact, Donald's writing was so good on the OODA loop that it inspired me to get a biography on John Boyd. And now I am really investigating the OODA loop. So all in all, Adopting Mission Command is a it's a good read. It's a very important read. And again, if you're a consultant or a leadership coach, you need to read this. Again, it's written for the military. Disregard the acronyms, dive into the gist of it, and I promise you it'll be worth your time. So with that, thanks for listening. Make sure to get yourself a copy of Adopting Mission Command. And Donald's he's on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, ask him. He is very affable. He will answer your questions and address them. So with that, get Adopting Mission Command. I think it's worth your time and your money.